Agency in Motion continuing education series for agents, producers, advisors, and agency builders in the financial services industry. And today, really what we're concentrating on is front loading your business for maximum outcomes. Remember, if there's no input coming on the front side, there can be no output. So if you're looking at your revenue and your income numbers and they're not where you want them to be or not where they should be, you can reverse engineer that and cycle all the way back to what your marketing efforts are doing. You are in a contact business. That's never going to stop. But what we want to understand is coming in, a partner has a transition period. So that contact business in the front side is all about manufacturing the demand from an outbound perspective. I mean, we're contacting, we're calling, we're texting, we're emailing, we're trying to manufacture demand from our outbound efforts. That transition and that bridge needs to create a formula where it doesn't stop as far as the outbound manufacturing, but a bigger and bigger and bigger piece of the pie as far as the lead generation starts to come from inbound marketing. When you wake up every day, you have appointments booked, you have people that are looking for additional information that have been, they've seen something online that you've done, they've seen your content, they've grabbed a guide, whatever it is. Now they're wanting to speak to you. Inbound marketing will change the trajectory of your business because you can only create so much outbound demand. When you make that transition and make that bridge to where a bigger piece of the pie is inbound marketing, and you concentrate on how to make that funnel, more, also inclusive but exclusive, meaning you're concentrating on your persona. The people that are coming in the top of that funnel are people that you want to talk to and you want to do business with, but you've got a lot of those people coming through. And that's going to create momentum in your business. And when you have a momentum in inbound marketing, and then you can teach other people to do that, you will be able to build nationwide distribution of, in this case, financial products and services. Always, you want to be able to take a step outside your business. Look at your business from an outsider looking in. And then also, even though you're building online business, which has a lot of advantages, you want to look at your business in terms of a traditional business. If you had an office and you're doing the same exact thing you are doing now, what's happening at your office? Is anybody coming in? Does anybody want to visit you? Does anybody want what you're offering? Or, is it packed? Is there nobody showing up or is it packed? The same thing you have to visualize with your online business. What is happening at the different stages of my business? And once again, it goes all the way back to the top of that funnel. What's happening there? Because if there's not enough happening there, there's not going to be enough happening in other cycles of communication, other parts of the funnel. All you're doing, guys, if you've got a design persona and you've got messages that relate and resonate with that persona, you're just taking people, you're creating leads from prospects, and you're taking those leads, and through either a disqualification or a qualification process, you're bringing them to end resolutions. You're creating, resolving leads, not getting too attached to the lead itself, but getting attached to the process of creating leads and resolving leads within that persona. Remember, you are building an online business. So when you're building an online business, you have to think like an online business entrepreneur. So, it's not just about getting some things in place. It's about a lifelong learning process. Entrepreneurship, digital entrepreneurship is a lifestyle. So you guys have to be looking at tools that can help you, content that can help you, anything that can help you build your business, get a external and internal advantage over the outside and the inside competition that you have. Look at your business, look at your digital business as a digital factory. And then there's different parts of the factory, right? Just like an old school manufacturing factory pipeline, yours is digital. So in each piece or each part of your digital factory, what's happening, and it's a lot easier to fix problems when you dissect it as a factory plan. Because if you look at your business just as one big thing, it's a lot harder to go in and figure out what's going right and what's going wrong. When you dissect it, have a factory-like plan. Hey, things are getting clogged here. Things are getting congested here. Things aren't working here. And you know at that exact spot that you have problems to fix. So you need to front load your business. And that's really what today's episode is all about: increasing the traffic, increasing lead generation through your marketing efforts to create enough lead generation and enough of that top of the funnel where you're maximizing outcomes and outputs that includes, revenue, income, business growth. So when you're looking at what you need to do to front load your business, if you look at, for example, what we do, you need to look at it as a different perspective. Not a lot of financial language, not a lot of industry language and jargon, but you just need to teach people certain things. You need to be very general with your language, but you need to be direct with your persona. So whatever your persona is, you need to get the word out. This is how you're going to get ahead. You need to consistently and constantly give them helpful tips that will create some education for them, create some relevance, rapport, trust, credibility for you. And once again, if you're constantly getting in front of your persona with things that have value, either entertainment, education, whatever it is, outside of that rapport, trust, and credibility, you're going to have people at different points. Not everybody needs your help at the exact same time. If you stay in front of people with these types of, marketing language and things that you're relaying back to them, it really creates a pipeline. Also, just the facts. Did you know a lot of people don't know how terrible an individual's financial plan is, the household financial plan, or the overall financial economics of this country? So when you're getting out there, once again, if you're looking for content, for email, for posting, did you know just the facts works well? Also, would you rather? People love to be given choices. We always talk about their money in terms of a financial version of let's make a deal. The only difference is they actually get to see what's behind door 1, 2, and 3. So why would they pick something that's not going to give them an end result they actually want, they desire, and they're happy about? So talking to people, getting their opinions, asking them questions is a great way to open, continue, and direct conversation. Also, I talk about the American dream a lot because I use that as a disqualifier. If somebody really doesn't believe the American dream is still possible, it's kind of a fixed mindset, in my opinion. I'm looking for people who want to grow and who want to learn how to get ahead and beat the game, because the game is still there. The dream is still alive. The rules have changed. So people need to understand that. These are all talking points. If people understand the American dream is still there and the rules have changed, well, I'm looking for people who don't want to just survive through these economic times. I'm looking for people who want to thrive. And that's who I want to attract into my business on both the client and the partner side. So as you're out there relaying information, asking for people's opinion, asking them for questions, you're trying to figure out really, where's this person's mindset? Is this person wanting to get ahead? Are they interested or committed in getting ahead? And through all of this process of this communication, guys, you're really going to learn a lot. And if you're dialed into a persona, you're going to end up knowing more about that person they probably know about themselves. In the end, we're teaching people how to win the money game, how to beat the banks at their own game. So our job is to get them to relay the information, that need to know information, that how to win. Basically, this is how you do it. So what I'm coming across is my marketing. I'm telling people they have decisions, they can carve out, they can thrive and not just survive. And then at the end of that, I'm going to say, hey, this is how you do it. I'm going to present, the one big thing. And the one big thing in our business model is technology. Technology provides the precision and the convenience, because left up to do this on their own, a lot of people will start. Very, very, very few will finish. So we've got a big thing. We've got the technology. And then you want to remove roadblocks. So any objections, false beliefs, roadblocks in your marketing, once again, if you're dialed into a persona, you can start to preemptively overcome those, and those will help you once again in that process of disqualifying the wrong parties and requalifying the right parties. It's not an old school sales mentality, guys. That kind of industrial age sales mentality is over, where you're just shoving stuff down people's throat. Doesn't work anymore. What you have to do is you have to provide value, and you have to position yourself as someone who can help them get what they want or avoid, getting what they don't want. It's all about, on the front end, like I said, having something that has a decent enough value that somebody's willing to trade their contact information. That's an opt-in. And in our business, in our world, an opt-in is where everything starts for a whole entire cycle. That's strangers asking for something that we have. And in For that, we're going to ask for their contact information. That is lead generation. So once again, if the lead generation is coming through and it's strong, that means there's value points on the front side that people are gravitating towards, that they're willing to give their contact information for. If you got something out there that absolutely nobody is picking up, nobody is exchanging the contact information, then if you look at your business as a factory pipeline, that's the area of the factory that we need to work on. Hey, there's not enough value proposition here. There's not enough for me to be getting the other person's contact information. That's the part of my factory that I need to work on. And then, there's different ways, the landing page versus the funnel. I believe in the funnel system because it's going to do a lot of things for me that I know that a lot of other agents fall short on. So a landing page is just a straight line. You're offering something, the person picks it up, they give their contact information, it creates a prospect or a lead, it's done. Inside a funnel system, it's an ecosystem because once they opt in for something, there's a lot of different things that are going to go on. They're going to help, the disqualification process, the qualification process, the follow up. A lot of the stuff that we fall short on can be handled automatically in the ecosystem of the funnel. You are attracting people at the top of that funnel, but you need to make sure that once again, it's not just a bunch of random people, because this is going to be a lot of hard work if you're talking to different types of people with different types of conversations, trying to be that chameleon. You cannot do that. So you need to become great and you need to become an expert at your approach and your language or with your persona. You need to identify somebody as X. Hey, you're a doctor, you're a dentist, you're an attorney, you're a 1099 contractor, whatever that persona is, here's why. It's going to help you, right? So who is the persona? And what's the value-based proposition? What's the offer on the front side that's going to get me the contact information? You are X, here's why that will help you, do ABC, whatever it might be. This is what you need to concentrate on. Who is my persona and what's my message to that persona? You need to attract the right types of people. Once again, it's not just about massive lead generation with a bunch of people coming at the top of the funnel. It is about a great quantity of lead generation, but the right types of people so that the people you're talking to are in a certain persona and you basically know what to expect from the conversation depending on what they say. Doesn't matter where it comes from, email, social, blog. It's all about driving traffic to a landing page that enters into a funnel system where the offer is given and the lead is now generated. That opt-in is creating the whole gates are opening to a whole, array of different types of information, additional education, and opportunities for that prospect. One of the things that you need to really two things you need to understand about your opt-in or giveaway. If you're giving away something like guides or books or something like that, you need to understand what you're giving away because, you're going to be talking about it. Regardless of if the other person, and this is the other side of what you need to understand, if you're giving away a guide, a book, most people are not going to read that guide or not going to read the book. It has created the lead for you. It's also created an opportunity for you to have a conversation. Now there's something to talk about regardless of if they receive the guide, if they read the guide, whatever it is that you're giving away, it's a bridge. It's an intro into a conversation where you need to, once it's been open, learn how to continue and direct that conversation to a resolution. Remember, at the top of the funnel, it's not hard sell. It's not pressure sell. It's more education for the client or for the potential client at this point. Creating content that teaches and guides, like I said, avoid that pressure and hard sell. Share content where your target audience is. Don't mention your product directly. Remember, it's not about the how of we're going to do it. It's about the wow of getting it done. Where are they? What does it mean? Who are they with? What are they doing? That's the type of stuff. Remember, we're emotional creatures. You're going to inspire and motivate. You need to talk to people about end destinations, not product and services. And then once they opt in, remember, we're going to give them additional pages, which means additional information and opportunities for them, surveys, forms, calendar access to talk about the situation. So on a landing page, none of this exists, right? They get the form, create the lead. It's all up to you. In a funnel like ecosystem, there's a lot going on, which is going to help and aid you once again with a lot of automation so that your area of concentration daily is talking to the people that have shown interest in that. And then your job, once you get through this, we're going to see in a minute, is all based on the presentation. Also, that opt-in creates like an engine starting, because what happens is inside that ecosystem, you've got workflows, which is a combination of campaigns and triggers that are going to get additional information out, and also have an automation trigger center where if the prospect takes an action, a lot of the things have an automatic answer to. Let's take a look at this. 3 ways to reach your clients or your contacts in a funnel system. You've got the email campaigns, you've got two-way text messaging, and you got ringless voicemail drops. So you're hitting your clients from multiple communication methods. What does this do? What allows your client or your prospect at this point to receive the information in their preferred method of communication, and they can respond back in their preferred method of communication. Also, those triggers, whatever the cause and effect is. So if something happens from the side, the prospect does something, a lot of times that internal system will take care of it for you. It's a cause and effect. So if, one side, the prospect does something, there could be one or more effects going through the system that will help you. Basically, what this means, hey, if this happens, do this. You're letting the system know, hey, if the prospect does this, this, or this, go ahead and do this without my manual input. And this is going to help you guys, like I said, not to have so many tasks to do in the day and to really concentrate on what you need to do, which is building relationships. There's a bunch of different stuff: the opt-in, campaign replies, completed survey, book meeting, cancel meeting, no show, unsubscribe, stop request. All of these things can be handled with automated systems if you set this stuff up correctly. And the campaigns are automated series. Once again, not relying on you to get all this information out, but continuously and consistently getting information in front of your prospects to allow them to take the next action steps, request more information, opt out, unsubscribe, whatever it is they're going to do. Multiple attempts from multiple channels. And once again, our key metric, one of the big drivers on the front side, it's designed to drive those calendar appointments so that we can get in front of people in the persona and start to further disqualify, further qualify on the front end, educate them, talk to them about their goals, and create a plan of action and a blueprint that's actually going to help them. It's your job. And like I said, this is not the episode that we're going to be talking about the presentation, but you have to understand, if you've done everything on your front side to create lead generation in a persona, and you've done all this, when you get down to the meeting, understand it could be your 500th meeting that you've done all time. It's the first meeting with them. You got to bring the energy, the excitement, the intensity, everything that you would want someone to bring to a meeting if you had booked it. You have to position yourself in your marketing, in your education, in your presentation, in your sales. Remember, every problem out there are solutions. Then there's an obvious solution. If you're not positioning yourself and your products and services as the obvious solution, you're doing a big disservice to the potential client, yourself, and your business, and all the other marketing efforts that you've done on the front side. Remember, we are handing somebody a blueprint for success. This is what I tell them. Hey, this is what I use. This is what my clients use. I'm going to give you the exact blueprint for success. What you do with it from this point going forward is 100% up to you. That's why when you get down to things like program and product costs, we're talking value over cost. And if you position yourself correctly, from the marketing as not a solution, but the solution, the value should be recognized. What is the value? The value is not about a price point. The value is about getting somebody, once again, always to some desired end financial outcome that they're excited about, that's inspiring to them, it's motivating to them, with a legitimate path to get there. Once again, the combination of our coaching with pieces of technology and back-end products and services will get it done. But on the front side, the value is actually getting it done. What does it mean to that person to get this done? And then once again, if we're going to give them the blueprint, what are you going to do with it? It's up to you. I've shown you exactly what you need to get what you want. What are you going to do with it? And through this process, guys, if we are driving traffic, if we're creating leads, if we've done what we need to, then we don't get too attached to lead generation, understanding that input will create output, and that output is sometimes nothing at all. But sometimes it's clients, sometimes it's partners, sometimes it's, you know, revenue, sometimes it's income, sometimes it's business growth. So once again, if you got a lot coming in at the top, probably got a lot of outcomes coming at the bottom. If you have little to nothing coming in at the top, you have little to nothing coming in at the bottom of outcomes. That means, once again, that you have little to nothing as far as clients, as far as partners, as far as revenue, as far as income. So once again, if the bottom, if the revenue, income, business growth is not there, you can reverse engineer and cycle that all the way back to, what am I actually doing with my marketing? What is my marketing saying? Is it creating lead generation? Then once that lead generation is created, what's happening with those leads? Once you get good at what we just described, all you got to do is teach this to 7 to 10 other people to help grow a nationwide business. And that means that that office that you're teaching to do that will branch out, create independent offices. This will create nationwide distribution. Once again, you're giving a blueprint for success to your clients. And then once you create a blueprint for success for yourself and your agencies, you just give it to your other agents coming in, and they're going to help you with the rest of it. Agency in motion: building, operating, and managing agencies in the digital environment.